Good morning, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've done a day in the life homeschool style, so that's what we're gonna do today. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Abby, and I have 5 kids, ages 1 through 14. So we've got elementary, middle, high school, and toddler years going on here. So because of that wide range of ages, and the fact that we are only home for book work 3 full days a week, our at-home homeschooling days are pretty long. So we have to start by 8 a.m. and then we're usually doing school until about 3 o'clock with breaks in between, and it's staggered. My younger ones, my 1st grader, my 4th grader, they're usually done by lunchtime, but my older ones, we do school quite a bit. We have 1 day a week where we're out of the house for a co-op, and then another day where we're out of the house half a day for a Bible study, and so we come home and do our handcraft on that day and don't do a lot of book work other than math and science before we leave for that Bible study. So that only leaves us with 3 full homeschooling days, and this is one of them. It's worked out really well this year. We just have to be disciplined to get things done. That's what's made all the difference. Otherwise, having 3 days a week at home would not be enough. But like I said, on the days when we're out of the house, my older 2 still have a little bit of work that they do before we leave. So anyway, I'm excited to bring you guys along for a school day. The kids are finishing up their personal Bible time now. We just had some sourdough for breakfast. I had baked a loaf last night just to make today easier. When I know we're gonna be at home all day and we have a lot to get done, I'll pack lunches for them, make like an easy breakfast so we can just get up and get going. So they're finishing their personal Bible time, and we're gonna sit down for how we start our school day, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours of family subjects before we start breaking out from there and doing independent work and group work and work with mom and things like that. So here we go. All right, excuse the white noise machine. I still have to try. Sometimes I will leave that on until dinner time and not know it's still on. I just don't hear it anymore. I wanted to give you a peek inside our planner so you can see what we've got going on for today. So it's Tuesday today, so we have got Soak is the Bible journaling method that we use, and then calendar time are all of our like daily subjects that we do for morning. I have a morning basket video that I did recently. I'll link that up in the corner here. But it's like our daily readings. So we have the Patriots Almanac with a daily reading. We have the Day Book for Teachers with a daily reading. We have a poetry book with daily reading. We watch World Watch News to get the day's current events. So I just kind of group that all in as calendar time because it's all dependent on the day of the week. We have our memory work, which we do with our folders, our morning menus, like hymns, folk song. We're doing a habit lesson today. We are still working on the habit of attention. We have our composer is Joplin, so we're going to listen to one of his songs. We have our geography, which is visits to Australia right now, and then South America later in the semester. So we have to do a lesson, and then we have to finish reading the chapter of Kon-Tiki that we started reading last week. We have our bird study that we're doing together, and then we will introduce a new Spanish lesson from the Speaking Spanish with Miss Mason and Francois book that we've been doing. And then from there, I've got 5 in a row. I'm doing Little Nino's Pizzeria with my younger kids and then some of their independent lessons. This will take me from like 10 to noon-ish to do their stuff while my older kids are doing some of their independent work that's listed here. And then after lunchtime, we'll read aloud, and then after lunch, my younger ones are dismissed. They're all done, except Eli sometimes has a little bit of independent work left. Then I sit down with my big kids for a couple of hours and we do all of their stuff. So they each have a logic lesson today. They have a literature lesson. They're using language well and spelling wisdom lessons. Bella has economics. They have life in the word, which is their Bible study together. So that's what our day looks like, and we'll see what we can do.
Andy, do your thing.
I can't.
Why not?
I can't.
Why not? To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, peanut butter. Tin a cup, we sing the song, now hype us up. Bang, bang, choo choo train, come on, Josie, do your thing.
I can't!
Why not?
I can't!
Why not?
Because my back is aching and the lights are too bright and my hips are shaking from the left to the right.
To the left, to the right, to the left, to the left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Tin a cup, we sing the song, now hype us up. Bang, bang, choo choo train, come on, Josie.
Do your thing!
Oh.
Woo!
I can't. Why not?
I just can't.
Why not?
Because my back is aching, legs to right, and drinking my heads from the left to the right.
To the left.
To the left, to the right.
To the right. To the left, to the right.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Something has happened since the last time we did morning time on Friday.
Oh yeah, fall.
It's fall.
Oh no.
So take the one that says summer and change it to fall. Yay! There we go. And I say it every time, but this calendar's been discontinued. People ask me every time I do a video. This calendar has been out of stock for a few years. All right, sit down, cutie. September 26th, Johnny Appleseed. Today is the birthday of John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed. By the time they showed up, his young trees were ready to be sold or bartered. He walked thousands of miles, always shoeless, planting and tending orchards scattered through Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. It didn't take long for folks to give him the nickname Johnny Appleseed. All of our morning lessons seem to tie together. Patient as a tree, and now our nature poetry is warning to a person sitting under an apple tree in an autumn garden on a sunny afternoon with their nose stuck in a good book. Okay, so before we open our menus, tell me if you guys can repeat the whole first line of praise to the Lord. Praise to the Lord,
the Almighty, the King of creation.
Okay, so we're moving on now to our habit study because the baby is still pretty happy, so I'm not about to put on the world. I save the 10 minutes of World Watch News until I need to like nurse her and get her in the ergo, so the kids watch that while she's doing that, and she is content with her little toys right now, so we're gonna keep going. So who remembers what our habit is?
Attention.
Attention, good. Who wants to read Mark 14:12 through 17?
I do. Can I go with you?
Sure, go get your Bible.
Okay. And on the first day of unleavened bread,
When they sacrificed the Passover lamb.
when they sacrificed the Passover lamb,
The latest on U.S. strikes. Our worker strikes expanded.
3 grandmotherly Aboriginal artists who showed me how to dig up and eat witchy grubs and honey ants. We also ate a 2-foot goanna lizard that one of them, Bessie Little, had killed with a spade, and a kangaroo tail they bought at a quick stop on the way out from Alice Springs. I learned a lot and admired the women for their ability to walk into the barren red desert and forage meal after meal. All right, so they are finishing up their geography lesson now. They're answering some questions. This is actually a continuation of our geography lesson from last week that we didn't finish. These are a little lengthy, and so we like to hit geography a few days a week for one lesson instead of 1 day a week. So it's just super helpful. So they're reading about a family who lives in, well, they were from the Outback, and now they live in, was it Brisbane? I think, I can't remember, but now they live in the city. And so they're talking about the difference between the food they used to hunt and now fast food, and then the food cost for meat versus how they used to get it from the butcher. And they're just answering some questions about the differences in Australian culture. Jesse, will you please play disc 1, track 4, and we'll go ahead and listen to this while you guys finish up. All right, chapter 8, old clothes and old houses. I can't stop to talk to you any longer now, Peter Rabbit, said Jenny Wren. But if you will come over here night and early tomorrow morning, bright and early, tomorrow morning, while I am out to get my breakfast, I will tell you about Krusty the Flycatcher and why he wants the cast-off clothes of some of the, what did he want? Snake skins. Snake family. Perhaps I should say what he wants. All right, so got her down and finished our morning time. They are finishing up their bird study, and then my younger two might take a little longer to write their notes and stuff, but I told my older two to finish up, and then they have some independent work, math, science, experiment for Bella, because I know she told me I needed to buy a pineapple, so I know she has an experiment. And then Jesse has his first module exam today. You ready for that? Did you forget about that?
Yeah.
So if you need to spend a few minutes looking at your study guide, you can do that. And then they also, I think I said, they have math as well. And then they each read a chapter of their current YWAM book. Who are you reading right now in YWAM?
What's his name?
Oh, I know.
Space Guy.
Space Guy. Is it Alan Shepard? Yeah. Who are you reading, Bella?
George Mueller.
George Mueller. And so they read a chapter and write a small written narration for each chapter so they can compile that at the end into their formal narration, which is due at the end of this week.
Okay.
And then they also have assigned reading, which, what's your assigned reading that you're reading right now?
Science reading book.
Yeah, you're assigned, he's got Mr. Popper's Penguins,
I got The Witch of Blackbird Pond.
The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and you have Preacher's Boy, right?
What am I?
Oh yeah.
Preacher's Boy, yeah. Okay, that's the one I just assigned him. You are just reading books with Mom.
When am I gonna
Have assigned reading?
No, like read Charlotte's Web.
Oh yes, you want to read Charlotte's Web? Okay. So that's what's happening now. When they're dismissed, then we're going to go ahead and do 5 in a row. They're going to be using some paint today in 5 in a row. That was exciting news. And then, yeah, so that's where we're at. Moving on mid-morning here. So in 5 in a row, we just read the book Little Nina's Pizzeria. We started it last week and we're finishing it this week. And the kids are using a new type of paint, new to them, called gouache. And so they are right now going to use this medium. This is like the whole art lesson today is just learning about this type of paint. It's what the illustrations are made out of in the book. And what they're doing is they're designing their menu covers, because another lesson later in the week is a lesson on like running a small business or pretend play with like your own business. So they're gonna make their own pizza shops later in the week, so they'll have a menu. So right now they're designing their menu covers with the gouache. All right, it is Jesse's very first, oh, there you go, baby. Jesse's very first science test, or really test ever. We do Charlotte Mason style exam weeks in our homeschool, but we never take formal tests until they're in 7th grade. So he has his Module 1 test, which can be an open book test just to get the hang of taking their tests, but his preference is that he's going to try to do it without it. But we'll see how it goes. All right, buddy, so you go ahead and answer that and let me know when you're all done, okay?
Okay.
Good luck. All right, we're off to a great start. High school science is a whole different ball game.
Then I cut the size off.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna blend it. Perfect timing. Some pineapple for a snack so I can do some math with Annie. Is it yummy? Can you say pineapple? Pineapple.
I love pineapple.
Let me see. How is it? Oops. Oopsie doopsie.
I love pineapple.
I know you do. Everyone's getting pineapple now. It's like everyone could smell that she was cutting it up. What do you think?
This experiment's gonna be a flop
If you give it to all your siblings. Is it yummy? Yeah? Do you like it? You want me to go away? Do you want me to move? She's like, please don't look so I can spit it out. Oh, you like it? Good. Yummy, yummy.
Well, that's great, actually.
Mmm. Yummy. All right, so we are working on math with Annie, and today it says that the manipulatives that we need are beads.
Beads.
Beads. So, count out 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just grab like a couple.
Just a few at a time. Okay. Okay, so Yvette needs 10 beads to make a bracelet. She has 5 beads. How many more does she need? And don't forget to tell me the answer, the complete answer, not just the number.
Okay. She needs 5 more beads.
Good. How many beads added to 6 make 10? How many beads?
Oh, yeah.
What do you want, a snack? Snack? Yeah. Okay.
4 more beads.
Good. 10 butterflies are in a garden when 6 fly away. How many butterflies remain?
4 butterflies.
Good. All right, last one. Jordan caught 5 crawfish. How many more must he catch to make 10?
5
5.
crawfish.
Yeah, good job. So this is the reason why I pack lunches the night before on days like this, because we have Annie and Eli who are done with school, and Bella and Jessie who are in the thick of lessons. Jessie's in the middle of a math lecture, Bella's in the middle of a science experiment. I would have to get in the kitchen with her in there anyway, and it's just so much better for my younger ones to just go ahead and have a lunch, which today they've got little, this is Annie's, that's why there's only 2. Kebabs, yogurts, vitamins, animal crackers, pretzels. So they all have the same thing, just different portion sizes, but they've got their lunches here, so now my younger ones can go ahead and eat and move on with their day, and my older ones are free to continue what they're doing without the pressure of everyone waiting for them. So what's going on in here?
So
It smells really good.
I'm adding pineapple to Jell-O and heating pineapple on the stove.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's gonna happen yet, but
Which, by the way, I'm gonna show my new oven. Look, John got me a double oven, which has been really fun. Side note, I've been excited about that. I wanted to show you guys. Super neat. My oven went out the same week my washing machine went out, and our TV, and we had an electrician come. It was all just luck. It had nothing to do with our electric here. So I had to get a new washer, and then as soon as we got that delivered, the oven broke. So then we had to get a new oven.
yeah, we were running off of prayer at the oven.
Yeah, we were running off of prayer. It would still heat up a little bit, but it wasn't consistent. So anywho, that's exciting news. But yeah, so what's this about? What's going on?
So these are 2 bowls of just plain Jell-O, and then this one has a tablespoon of pineapple juice in it. I'm not sure what I'm doing with these yet.
It hasn't told you yet.
No, I haven't.
And what are you
read it
heating
yet.
on the stove now? Your pineapple puree?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna add it to these, or like add Jell-O to the pineapple or something like that.
Interesting. Well, it smells like pineapple potpourri in the house, and it smells really good. All right, Annie, Eli, you guys eat. Now I'm making my lunch here, and I prepped this kale salad. It's like the Erewhon white bean kale salad, and the dressing has mustard and maple syrup and olive oil and, oh goodness, lemon juice, and then it's got kale, white beans, hemp, avocado, some pumpkin seeds for a little crunch. It's super yummy, and because you just like massage the dressing into the kale, it lasts pretty well for a few days. So I'm gonna have this with my piece of sourdough that I haven't had yet today. That's a pretty small bit. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have this half a piece now, and then I'm gonna have a half a piece with some cookie butter for some dessert. So that's what I'm gonna have for lunch, and sit down with my little kids. My big kids are still working on some school, and then see if I can't get this baby to settle down. So I'm back in the schoolroom now. It is a rainy day. The boys just came in from being out playing with a basketball hoop in the rain. I am very tired. But I'm gonna sit down and do my afternoon work here with my big kids, who spent the last couple hours doing their independent work, and now it's their time with me. So this is an important time, again, just for me to be disciplined with my time, because this is the most important part of their day, is when I'm actively teaching them and doing lessons with them, and it's not a time for me to like consider optional. Which I can say in years past, this is when I would like tire out during the day and be like, oh, we can do it tomorrow, whatever. And it's just, discipline is key when it comes to having middle and high schoolers and doing things well. And I'll say, especially if you value family subjects. So I could have my kids doing stuff in the morning, but I really value family subjects, and I want my older kids to be a part of our morning basket time still. And that's a couple of hours in the mornings. And so in order to have them do that and not neglect their other work, I have to be available for this afternoon time. So we're starting with finishing their last lesson from week 3 of their Redefining School Literature. They have, looks like 2 minutes of that video left that they were working through personification, or was it setting? What is
It's both.
Both. They're studying, what's his name? Hans Christian Andersen this month, and reading The Ugly Duckling, and then they've spent the whole month kind of working on all sorts of stuff related to that. So they're finishing that now, and then they're going to go ahead and watch this week's lesson. And Bella, I know, is excited because their Zoom class this week is the writing workshop where they get to share their work, and that's her favorite. So while they're finishing this lesson, I'm gonna go make myself a coffee, and then we will move on to their Bible study and then their logic. And it's a real stormy day.
Picture. And then of course, like, how is your character feeling at this time? This to me is a beautiful
All right,
backdrop.
I'm having some a decision crisis here. I'm wanting to make, I thought about this all day. I ended up not having the cookie butter toast little snack treat after my lunch because I remembered that I wanted to make a little white chocolate iced latte this afternoon. And I don't usually have iced coffee, but I was like, oh, that'll be perfect. It'll be a fun afternoon pick-me-up. It was really hot yesterday. Well, now it's super rainy and stormy, and I'm like, oh no, maybe I should have a nice cozy hot coffee. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. All right, I went hot coffee. It's just way too stormy and perfect around here to not have a cozy hot latte. Learn how to do latte art. not today. Today we're doing literature.
Suits you, and it's just nice to be able to sit and relax and enjoy that while other people are.
So they just finished their video, and she was saying that the last lesson or the last Zoom call each month is always a what is it called, Bella?
It's called a writing workshop or like an author's chair.
Writer's workshop or author's chair, and it's they bring a coffee. It's like a coffee house. They bring a coffee or a tea or a treat on Friday with them to that Zoom call. So right now they are working on choosing 2 characters and a situation, and then developing a setting, and then writing their own setting on a separate sheet of paper, and then they bring that to the coffee shop. So it's kind of fun that they'll have some of the same characters and situations as the other kids in class, but just seeing how everybody develops that will be interesting. Yeah?
I'm pretty sure they mixed up a princess and having fun at a carnival.
Oh, whoops, you're right. That did get mixed up. Well, then swap it and you know what to do. We are on lesson 3 of Life in the Word, and we have do a staggered start for some of our curriculum. So 2 weeks ago, we started adding in economics for Bella. Last week, we started adding in Life in the Word. So we're on lesson 3. They're summarizing James. And so right now, they're going to work on writing a summary of each paragraph for James chapters 3 and 4. So go ahead, guys, and do that. While doing that, I'm going to work on prepping Bella's logic lesson. I usually do her logic lesson first because at that point she heads to cheer. She has cheer for 2 hours Monday through Friday, and then 3 days a week has dance as well. Thankfully, cheer season is just a short season. It's just for football, so we're about halfway through the season right now, and then we'll have a little bit later that we can do school. But she has to be done with school by about 3 o'clock every day. And then, so I usually do her logic first and then Jessie's, and assign her economics. Sometimes she finishes economics during the day. Sometimes it's just reading right now. So sometimes she reads that after practice, especially like tonight. She doesn't have dance or trio practice or solo practice or anything. Actually, she has, I was wrong. Why did I say 3 days a week? 1, 2, 3, 5 days a week. She has dance 5 days a week, because she has it on Saturdays too. And then football games on Saturdays sometimes too. So she is our social calendar right now. We joke around that she has the social calendar of an only child. I'm like, you're part of a large family, didn't you know? But anyway, she's thriving and we love it. So anyway though, today cheer just got canceled because it's thunderstorming, so we are able to kind of relax into our afternoon lessons for a little bit. All right, Bella is reading her Whatever Happened to Penny Candy chapter, and then I'm gonna go through some discussion questions with her. This is her economics for this year, and then while she's doing that, I'm working with Jessie on the fallacy detective, which we are on lesson 3, I believe. Opposing viewpoints. So, Jessie, have you been enjoying fallacy detective?
Yeah.
Yeah? How come?
I don't know, I just like it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to think through these questions. Yeah, I highly recommend this for middle school. Jesse's finished his work now. We just went over his fallacy detective, and that was a pretty quick lesson. She's finishing writing out her answers for economics, and then we are going to work on her errors with genus and species hierarchy charts here. And then yeah, we're working, by the way, this is the logic that she's using, and last year it didn't go so well. Neither one of us were really prepared for this. This year I feel like we started with a little bit more of an understanding of what the curriculum entailed, and so we're off to a pretty good start here. This is one that we just rolled in. And because she was doing so much more this year, she has 3 different labs, microscope lab, you know, so many things for her science this year, so we didn't want to overwhelm her schedule immediately. So we just started rolling this in, and it's going well so far. So after this, everyone will be done. It is just about 3 o'clock now, so we're perfect on time. And she does not have to leave for cheer, like I was saying, so that's a blessing. And yeah, so the kids, the younger kids were having a little bit of quiet time while I was working with the other older kids. Eli was building Legos, Annie was building a fort. They had done their contributions, like chores and all of that, and then they moved on to that, and everybody is chomping at the bit to play together. Now that Jessie's done, I can hear some commotion going on, so they're having a good time together. And yeah, so we're gonna do her logic, and then I have lots to tidy up from school. We always end up kind of with books everywhere, and I have to reset. But it's just important for me, like I mentioned in the intro today, that these 3 days a week, I don't like stop to tidy. I don't really stop anything. I just want to like keep going while we have motivation. We have a lot to not pack in, but we have a lot to do on these days. It doesn't feel packed because we have extended our day past lunchtime, which used to be when I always tried to finish our school day. So now that we can go up until like about 3 or so, I don't feel rushed or like it's jam-packed, but we have a lot to do on these days to make up for being out of the house a couple days, and so I don't really tidy up until school's over. And thankfully they do their chores in the middle of the school day after lunch, so there's not a lot of like dishes and things like that stacked up. Floors aren't too bad, but just picking up books and resetting the house. All right, now we're working on some sourdough sandwich bread. Well, Bella's listening to that. I don't always have to, I don't have to wait the 12 hours because it's warm here and our house is warm. So I can start at midday and still bake it at night. And tomorrow we're out of the house for Bible study, so we'll need to pack sandwiches. So let's see, we've got to get some 8 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of honey. I used Farmhouse on Boone's recipe. 1, 2, okay. And it's so easy. 1, 2, yeah, go ahead. 3, Annie just had a pirate's booty. 4, you can always grab cheese stick or yogurt too. 5, or we have some extra bread here if you want to toast it up. We've got bread if you want to do like Nutella or cookie butter. Oh, ooh, I have to look back at my video to see how many cups I did. All right, thank God I was filming it. That's 7, and this is 8, and I need to refill my flour jar here, and then we've got cup of starter. I think that's everything. I think I got everything else in there. I already had the water in there. Yes, okay.
that had formal logic on
Then we
one
have our
level and then induction at the same level.
do.
Well, these are also overlapping, but the cause of the overlap is that induction is a type of formal logic. It should be underneath formal logic as a species of it, not beside it.
There we go.
Again,
I keep a my actual starter in the fridge, and I took some out this morning and fed it so that it would be ready this afternoon so I can use the whole thing. And then we're gonna go ahead and let this mix for like 10 minutes in the pantry in the KitchenAid. All right guys, sorry I went MIA for a minute. I forgot I was filming, but I made a lemon meringue pie for my dad's birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow's his 70th birthday. And I also made a gluten-free one, or just one without a crust for my father-in-law who's celiac. And I'll link the recipe down below. I followed their recipe exactly, except I used my own crust recipe, so I'll link that crust recipe below as well. Lemon meringue pie is out of the oven, and it's time to get the boys to judo, or karate.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. They're in so many things, I never know what's each day. Jiu-jitsu. We're heading to jiu-jitsu. And this is cooling for an hour, then it's going in the fridge overnight. All right, we are heading out on a date night. We have a weekly date night, and it's something I very much look forward to because all of our days are very full. John with running the business, me with homeschooling, and I just feel like by the time our date night rolls around, I'm like, we have missed like 10 conversations this week that we need to have. So I'm looking forward to this. And what I didn't tell you, babe, is that, so John made reservations at a nice newish restaurant. It's new to us. It's not super new to town, but it's new to us. And it's like a, kind of like a farm to table kind of place. And he was all excited about it. But what he didn't know is that I remember that place we went to in Illinois, the chicken place. They just opened one of those like 30 minutes from us. So I was telling Bella, oh, I'm gonna see if Dad wants to go there on our date night. I wonder if he'll go for fast food on our date night. Cause I was like gonna suggest, oh, let's just drive there and get it to go. And then he was like, oh, I made reservations at this place. And I was like, oh, well, I can't suggest fast food now. So. All right, we are home, had a nice, lovely dinner. Getting the kids down now, so I just wanted to say thank you for hanging out with me today. It's been a minute since I've vlogged. Felt a little rusty with it, but I hope that you guys enjoyed spending the day with me, and that if you guys are in the thick of your homeschooling year as well, that it gave you a little peek inside another one and maybe brought you a little bit of encouragement that maybe my homeschool day is just as chaotic as yours, especially with the baby running around. I feel like we're just at her mercy 24/7. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.